Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about an unintentionally hilarious comic book YouTube video. The channel in question is Dominic Andre. It even sounds kind of like a fake name. This guy's channel is about his financial journey. He has 24 videos, but hold your horses, he's got a huge video, 3,600 views at the time of this filming, about comic books. Some of his other videos, how to start an Airbnb, I'm building a $2 million custom Airbnb, building my $4 million dream house. Okay, so this guy, obviously not a comic book YouTube channel, but he has made a comic book video about his $200,000 comic book collection. This was recommended to me not only by the algorithm. A couple of viewers of the channel actually reached out to me and said, hey, you might want to watch this because it's hilarious, and they were right.
This is a $200,000 comic book collection.
I'm liking this. That's that smooth stuff, something you can rap to.
So I'm a huge fan of Marvel, as you can tell. But I actually wasn't that big of a fan of comics growing up. What got me into them was I actually stumbled into a baseball trading card shop, which, by the way, I know nothing about trading cards or baseball. But when I went in there with some friends, I noticed that there was a stack of comic books. And I was and am a huge fan of Marvel. So when I noticed some of these Spider-Man comics, I picked them up. I kind of looked them up to see how much they're worth. And the owner of the shop said, hey, I don't know anything about these. If you want these, just give me $100 and I'll give you the pile. Once I bought them, I actually took them to a place to get graded, and when they came back, I actually found out that some of them were worth thousands of dollars. This got me so excited. So as I grew more into comic books, what I started to realize is some of these books actually stemmed huge multi-billion-dollar franchises. So this is what really got me excited. It's not that I'm super excited about the comics themselves, but it's just the idea that a book like this can actually start an entire franchise of movies that go on to sell billions of dollars of tickets. So I think this is just so interesting. And again, I love Marvel, so it's really cool to see the origin stories of some of these characters. So if those of you who don't know, when you're looking at graded comic books, it's really easy to read. On the left top side, it's the grade, which is basically the quality that the comic book is in.
Who does he think is watching this video?
And then in the middle, it'll tell you the name of the comic book, the series, and then underneath it, it'll actually tell you the year. Now, right over here, you can actually see the important facts about this book. So this is the first John Romita Silver Age Marvel work, and it actually tells you this is the first appearance of Renslayer. So this is really cool when you look at these graded books. You're actually able to tell exactly what is happening in that specific comic book, because obviously you can't open it up and read it, but it's a really cool way to understand what is going on in that book. Now, one of my favorite books that's not worth that much is Guardians of the Galaxy, specifically the first appearance of Star-Lord. So this is a 9.6.
That's not Guardians of the Galaxy.
And this one only cost me about $200 to $300. And again, these grades are very, very important when it comes to the price. So these books can range anywhere from $30 to around $1 million. Now, I don't have any worth $1 million here, but soon I will. So I don't obviously keep all of my expensive comic books on the wall. That's obviously very dangerous. If someone steals or if the house catches on fire, I would lose a lot of money. So when it comes to my most expensive ones, I obviously keep them at the bank, locked up, but I brought them out for us to look at today. So let's go over my favorite book. This is the first appearance of Loki in 1962, Journey into Mystery number 85, and this is the third appearance of Thor. Now, why is this book so expensive? Well, I just told you, obviously this is the first appearance of Loki, who especially now has his own series, and this one was signed by Stan Lee, and this one came out in 1962. Now, the next book is actually the first appearance of the Silver Surfer and Galactus. So why I invested in this one, it cost me around $4,000, was because if they make movies about Galactus, well, these books will then skyrocket, especially with the re-upping of the Fantastic Four. Silver Surfer again has a chance of going up in value, and it's just a really cool book and a really cool cover, which is why I bought it. All right, so this next book is really, really interesting. This one is signed again by Stan Lee. It costs around $3,600, but why this book is so special is this is the death of Gwen Stacy. And again, why is that so special?
It's right on his ass.
It actually wasn't a part of the plan. When Stan Lee was on vacation, the writers actually decided to kill her off without his permission, and when he found out, he was furious. He actually was on vacation when he saw the book. He picked it up and read it, and he found out that they killed off Gwen Stacy, which caused a huge disruption in the storyline, and this is why this book is so interesting to me, because of the story behind it. Now, the next book is really interesting because it's a book we've seen before, which is the Loki first appearance. Now, why is this one so special? Because we just saw one that was signed by Stan Lee. Well, the other one was around a 5.0 grading, while this one is a 7.0 grading. Now, you're probably thinking, what makes the difference? Well, a 7.0 is a lot better quality, and this book cost me around $9,000. And as you can tell, I'm a huge Loki fan, which is why I'm going to keep buying these books, because he is one of my favorite characters in the Marvel Universe. Now, this next book is really interesting because it touches on Galacticus again. This is the first full appearance of Galacticus and the second appearance of Silver Surfer, and this book cost me around $3,000. Now, the next book is the first appearance of the Punisher. This one's really, really cool because it's in the Amazing Spider-Man 129. And this is what's really interesting about comic books. A lot of these characters actually stem within other characters, and this is what we're going to talk about in my next and most favorite book and most expensive book I have.
3 guesses
but
what it is.
This shows that a lot of these characters actually developed in other universes. So for example, what we're about to see is one of my favorite and most expensive books. So this is the first appearance of Wolverine, and where are we seeing it? In the Incredible Hulk number 181. And this book cost me around $11,000. Now, why did it cost so much? This is a 9.0, which means it's in really good quality, close to mint quality. And on top of that, you can tell by the beautiful coloring on the front that it's not too faded, and I absolutely love how bright and colorful this book is. And again, we know that the Wolverine and Logan has a lot of movies created around that character, which is why this book is worth a lot of money. I like to use eBay because a lot of the stores like to upcharge on these products because they have to pay for the storefront itself. But eBay is really cool because you're getting third-party sellers, basically people like me who may need the money or just getting rid of their collection, and they're willing to sell it at a cheaper price. Now, buying these things doesn't always mean that they're going to go up in value. In fact, right now, I bought a lot of these at the peak around 2 years ago, and a lot of them are actually down a couple $1,000s each. But what's important is the long run with these books. As new movies come out, as new characters are developed, these things go up in value long term. But one of the main things that I learned when investing in comic books is going for what's called major keys. Basically, these are comic books where major characters were developed, where their first appearances happened. So again, this is a really good book because this is the first appearance of Wolverine versus just getting a book when nothing really important happened. Now, that book's not going to go up in value because again, there's no reason for it to. But when a movie comes out like a new Wolverine or Wolverine appearing in the new Deadpool, this is going to cause books like these to go up in value. So if you were to invest in comic books, I would suggest going for major keys and making sure that you're picking books where you think new movies are going to be coming out or where that character is going to become a major role in the upcoming phases of Marvel. I hope you enjoyed looking at my collection, and if there's anything else you think I should be collecting, let me know down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
When I'm making these YouTube videos, when he's making YouTube videos, when you're making YouTube videos, you're putting yourself out there and you're letting the audience decide what they think about you, who you are, and you know what you're all about. Whether you're telling the truth, you're a liar, you're a fake collector, you're a real collector, you're whatever. And the whole time I was watching that, I just think about how people see me. I've got the slabs, the stupid slabs on the wall. I talk about the graded books. I talk about speculation and stuff. And then I watched this, and it hurts me watching this because I'm watching a guy who has no idea what he's doing. None. Bought in at the worst possible time. And very well, this guy and guys like him very well could have caused the boom in 2021 and the subsequent crash. It's guys like this is why all these collectors that have been collecting for years and years and years are furious with this type of guy. They are causing the books that they want, the books that they want to get in their collection to be unobtainable because guys like this are paying $11,000 for a book that's now worth $6,000. And I honestly feel sorry for him. I pity him because I've been in the same boat with some of my books. I've been there, done that. He said, "Hey, leave a comment. Let's talk about what we need to talk about in the comments." And one quick look in the comments, it's bad. It's worse than I thought it was. So his pinned comment right off the bat says, "Haha, sorry I say Galactus. I have speech issues. I said it wrong when I first learned it, and I struggle to reprogram myself. I'm aware. Apparently, you can't be a fan if you struggle with speech." So right off the bat, he's being passive aggressive for negative comments. And I mean, a lot of the people that are commenting in here, I'm fairly certain these are like the same trolls in some of my videos. So I mean, this guy needs to like thicken up his skin like immediately if he's going to be part of the comic book community. James Coca 8765 says, stop grading them and reading them and read them. Comics were meant to be read. Hate graded books to keep sending them out to CGC is a waste of time. And he's defending himself. I have thousands ungraded, but I'll open them and read them. Ripping the Wolverine out now. Like, dude, you don't feed the troll. Dude doesn't even read comics and has one of the best collections I've ever seen. Also, it's Galactus. Waiting to get these books back. He's talking about he loves Marvel. Also doesn't know how to pronounce John Romita's name, says Ben Tom Mason. Super fan in the house. Never said I was a super fan of comics. I am of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but apologies if that offended you. Oh man, it's brutal. I think it's great that we have somebody who doesn't know anything about comic books but still collects, lol. Yeah, they let me forgo the quiz you have to take before collecting historical items. I got special privileges. They said it's only for Justin. But I asked nicely and they said, okay, we can make an exception. Oh my God, dude. I mean, he's literally getting into fights with people that are trolling. Based on some of the grades, I'm thinking 200,000 might be a little generous. He says he has 50 books at CGC. We'll do an update when they arrive. There are no real keys in the collection, says Taylor Phillips. And he says, badass. He's getting so offended. And then they talk about the UV light, which every single troll talks about the freaking UV light. He says, Daniel Mitchell, which is a friend of the channel, he says, it's not only because of a character appearing in a movie that a book will go up in value. He says, correct, yeah. It's like he's having to he's defending himself with everything. And then they correct him on the Star-Lord. Is this guy an actual collector or an investor? Gold and silver are investments. Comic books are a fun hobby. If the market crashes, I'll still be happy with my collections. Yeah, I like the idea that it may hold its financial value just in case I'm in an emergency. Otherwise, I don't care how passionate I am about something. I'm not going to spend $200,000 for fun unless I'm a billionaire. Self-proclaimed big Marvel fan, yet Galactus. And then he plays the victim talking about his speech impediment. Yes, my speech impediment does directly correlate to my love for Marvel. In fact, if you dig further, those with depression also legally cannot be big fans of Marvel. Wow, you are going to blame your mispronunciation of Galactus on a medical condition. Dude, this is... You are ruining your collection with that display. How? Tell me you're kidding, please. He's talking about there's no windows in this room. Explain how it's ruining it. I'm waiting. First off, if you're watching this video, buddy, which you probably are, you need to either turn the comments off or you need to not read the comments if possible, because if you're going to be part of the comic book community, you're going to have to deal with this like on every single video. I'm just telling you. This is brutal. This was brutal to watch, brutal to go through the comments and watch how they destroyed him. Guys, what do you think? Is he part of the reason that the comic book market got so inflated and crashed? Is he a fake collector? Let me know. If at any point in time you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you like this video, subscribe for more. Take care.